So good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining in. So I am going to talk about inner communication today. What do you understand by that? Inner communication का क्या मतलब होता है? Anyone would like to share? What does that term denote according to you?
I think what we talk to ourselves
Uh-huh.
within us.
Yes, that is there.
Yeah.
But there are other aspects to it also. But basically, it is this how we communicate with our own selves. So nowadays, there is a new problem that has come up in society, that of feeling alone. So even when we are surrounded by people, we are lonely. We don't feel connected to them. We feel alienated. So we are very lost, uncomfortable. So even when there is a crowd around us, we are in a party or so, we still feeling disconnected. There is a vacuum inside of us. And we feel that we are not able to connect to anybody at all. So that is showing a lack of inner communication. And when we are able
Is it a
to,
lack of inner communication or a different kind of inner
like our self-talk is of a negative kind. We are beating ourselves down, we're feeling lonely, we are feeling lost, kuch bhi nahi ho raha humse. So we are not giving the right kind of communication to ourselves. The inner communication keeps happening all the time. 24/7, our mind is busy telling us something or the other. क्या हो रहा है, क्या नहीं हो रहा. आप क्या कर रहे हो, आप क्यों हो, वो क्या है, सब कुछ चलता रहता है हमारे दिमाग में.
Yes.
But the right kind of communication is not there. So when we are able to connect with our inner self in the right way, that loneliness जो आजकल prevalent है ना, everyone says we don't feel connected to anyone. That loneliness will disappear. We put it all outside that if there is someone in my life, then I would be happy. I won't be lonely. But that's not so. When we have that connect, we have a lot of happiness and we are definitely not alone. And to cover up this loneliness, we turn to other things. So we have many devices nowadays. Technology has created so many devices, and through that, we can remain connected to literally the whole world. All over the world, we are there, but still, we feel alone. So even though all the time we are sending messages, texts, checking mails, posting something on social media, it is not helping to overcome that feeling of loneliness. There is that vacuum, that void, एक खालीपन होता है ना, वो है हमारे अंदर, and we're trying to fill it up by posting, by connecting on the social media. We feel, oh, I am really busy, I'm really active. But that feeling of loneliness does not reduce. It is still there. And the real reason for that is because the actual need in us, that is not getting fulfilled. The need for love, the hunger for love that is there, we are looking for it outside. There's somebody in my life giving me love, then I'm happy, then I'm not lonely. But we just don't know how to generate love to fill ourselves with it. So when we don't have love within us, we try to use technology to fill that craving. And our social interactions जो भी हम करते हैं मीडिया पे, they don't work because all that communication is outward. हम बाहर communication कर रहे हैं. It is not going inwards. So all those instruments, all those gadgets that you're using, they cannot connect us to our inner self. It's only pushing things outwards. Bahar, out. So we spend a lot of time with those gadgets, but that void still remains. And when there is a void, when there is a disconnect, there is a mess inside. There is a chaos of unnecessary thoughts. We're not giving the right fodder to us, to our inner self. So everything is just chaos. So when we are not, when we are not connected with ourselves, we actually don't know what we are doing. So anything, कुछ भी हम कर रहे होते हैं वो एक बड़ा superficial level पे होता है. We are not present at all. Well, as a zombie, we are doing it. So through the whole day, we are doing all our tasks, meeting, talking, सब काम हो रहे हैं. But हर चीज से ना disconnected feel करते हैं. So to bring that awareness, to bring that connection, we have to bring in awareness, mindful awareness, full awareness of the present moment. कि अभी इस moment में क्या हो रहा है. And for that, we need to stop, to sit down for a while. हमें कुछ चीज बाहर के कनेक्शन के लिए हमें बहुत सारी चीजें चाहिए. मोबाइल चाहिए, आईपैड चाहिए, लैपटॉप चाहिए, सब चीजें चाहिए, इंटरनेट चाहिए. बट इनर कनेक्शन बनाने के लिए we don't need anything. We just need to sit down and connect with ourselves. And that is through our breath. Just breathe in and breathe out with awareness. So even when you do this for a few moments, थोड़ी 2-4 मिनट के लिए भी करो, you become aware of what is happening in your body, your feelings, your emotions, your outlook about things, कि चीजें कैसी हैं. तो आपको सब चीजों में insight मिलने लग जाती है. You're connected to yourself. And this connection, it gives you a feeling of coming home. कि yes, I am in a safe, warm environment. When we have a secure, safe, warm home, we feel fulfilled when we are there. If like घर में अगर बहुत झगड़े वगैरह हो रहे होते तो we don't even feel like going home. So same when there is chaos inside, we don't feel like going inside. But when there is warmth, घर में बहुत अच्छा atmosphere, everyone is loving, you want to be there. And then the loneliness also disappears. So when you're disconnected with your own self, it is as if you're away from that kind of home. And the best part is, बहुत लंबा रास्ता नहीं तय करना पड़ता to go get back home. It's inside us. It just requires that you sit down and be with yourself. Just be aware of your breath, aware of yourself. And when we re-establish this connection, we come home to our inner self. It becomes easy to accept any situation as it is. जो भी हो रहा है, you become willing to look at it and accept it. So it may be a chaotic one. सब कुछ upset हुआ हुआ है, कुछ चल नहीं रहा सही तरीके से. But we accept it. Because हमें समझ आ जाती है कि we've been away from home for a long time, the inner home. So there is bound to be chaos. But now when we have returned home, we have found that connection. And that too simply by the use of our in and out breath. We can take charge of our inner world and resolve issues. So if you know how to breathe mindfully, आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो. So हर चीज में जो है ना आपको changes feel होंगी. The way you walk, the way you eat, how you work with mindfulness. And when that connection comes in, when you begin to become aware of it, you begin to know yourself. So when you breathe in, you're coming back to yourself. And when you breathe out, you're releasing tension. सफाई हो रही है अंदर से, सब कुछ बाहर निकाल रहे हो. And once you start this communication with yourself, you are able to communicate with everyone around you also with clarity. So अगर बाहर से connection बनाना है, you have to go inside. This mindful breathing जो होती है ना, you're just watching your, be aware of how you're breathing, how your breath is coming. It's a very powerful way of communication between your mind and your body. So उससे you get an understanding of what you are feeling all the time. Because all the time we are breathing, right? But we are just not aware of it. Like we are breathing in or we are breathing out, we are not aware of it. It's just like part of it, granted. कि हाँ ये तो हो ही रहा है, taken for granted. But we have to be aware of when we are breathing in and when we are breathing out. when that awareness comes, then you notice what you are feeling also in this moment. क्या thoughts चल रहे हैं आपके mind में, क्या feelings हैं. So anytime you are feeling stressed, just take that time out. Bring your attention back to your breath. Watch it coming, going. And when you take this pause of watching your breath, your mind begins to function better. And you can get solutions where before आपको समझ ही नहीं आ रही थी क्या करना है, solutions start coming in. Even those which you never thought possible. So when you're in that tensed, worried state, solutions नहीं आएंगे. That doesn't give your mind a chance to think rationally to find that solution. But when you are watching your breath, you're releasing all those negative feelings, and that gives you clarity to understand कि अच्छा कैसे करना है, क्या करना है. What happens when in your normal routine way of thinking, क्या होता है, कुछ something comes into your perception, आपको कुछ चीजें आपके सामने आ रही है, attention में आ रही है आपके. So you start weaving a story around it. Like past experience है, oh ये ऐसा वैसे हुआ था तब अब भी ऐसा हो जाएगा. You color it with those old feelings. Then किसी और की भी thoughts आ जाती हैं कि उसका experience ऐसा था, और people give their opinion कि do this, that, good. So they start influencing you. So whatever has come in the moment, we don't take it as it is. We add a lot of stories to that situation, and it gets blown up out of proportion. So what could be a simple solution gets totally complicated. So what we need to do is, when we face a situation, pause, come back to your breathing, watch your breath. In that moment, you don't create a story. You don't get a chance to create that story because you're busy watching your breath. And then you're able to look at that problem from a new perspective without being colored by past experiences. And that allows us to come up with a solution, a totally different solution. So, when you're mindful, you become aware of those like subtle aspects of your mind, the nuances of your mind. You become aware of that. And then we gain a power to think in an extraordinary manner. So you have the power to become extraordinary just by mindful breathing. Then when we are in that mindful state, being aware of us, so we become aware of what is happening in our body also. Any pain, any sorrow, any problems, all that we have stuffed inside us, ki, acha, ignore. We become aware of all that. like हमें जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं या अपनी अंदर फीलिंग्स है, वी शुडंट रन अवे फ्रॉम देम. वी नीड टू फाइंड अ वे ऑफ रिलीजिंग देम. So what normally happens is that we don't want to face them. We try to back out, ignore them, sweep them under the carpet. जैसे grief है और any fear है किसी चीज का और anxiety है, तो we don't face कि where is it coming from, क्यों हो रहा है ये मेरे साथ. हमें जो उसको इग्नोर करो, दबाते रहो. कोई गुस्सा आ रहा है, वी डोंट रिलीज इट. we stuff it back into ourselves. I cannot say anything to the other person. So we just sweeping it under carpet. So that's not releasing. We have to face whatever emotion is disturbing us. So to face them, we have to be in that moment, focus on your breath. And when you do that, you will not be overwhelmed by your emotion. So we learn how to release it. So you have to first feel it deeply, accept it that it is there, any pain or grief that you're carrying. And then feel it, where is it in your body? Where is it forming a pressure? And then send a lovingness to that area. So you have to be with it, accept it, not fight it, not try to suppress it, ignore it. वो नहीं करना. Just you have to be with your pain. And that applies to anything, your grief, your fears, anything. Just acknowledge them, accept them. And this has to be done on a regular basis because mind keeps creating stories, fears, pain to rehta hi hai. So it has to become a daily practice. And when you start connecting, you're able to release it. You're able to breathe it out. So we don't have to run away from our suffering. We don't have to like push it back. No, I cannot be in that zone. We need to be there for ourselves for that suffering and understand, yes, I am suffering because of XYZ condition or whatever situation. So when you're accepting towards it, you are able to understand the source, the cause, and transmute it. So that is communicating lovingly with yourself. And it needs practice. And this way you're generating happiness from deep inside also. When you learn to release suffering, you're creating space for happiness. So loneliness gets also gets pushed out. You are there for yourself. There is no loneliness then. So that's when it's very essential to have those periods of sitting and doing nothing, just watching your breath coming, going, especially when you're feeling restless, when you don't feel like doing anything. Just take a time out, stop, just sit down and watch your breath coming, going. Then your mind becomes empty. And it's as if only you are there in this moment. And इस moment में पता है क्या होता है? Your mind and body come together. And that improves that communication with your own self. Because normally what happens, हम कहीं पर हैं, बैठे हैं, कुछ काम कर रहे हैं, हमारा माइंड तो पता नहीं कहाँ पर है. It's in another place. But when you sit with yourself, there is a union between the body and the mind. And it's as if you've come home to that warm place. This is this union, this is the source of real happiness. And only this can bring us out of our loneliness. जो alone feeling होती है, उससे हम बाहर निकल आते हैं. Sometimes when you're doing work, you get totally lost in it, involved in it, and you even forget that you have a body. And then थोड़ी देर के बाद suddenly some part starts aching, so it's become stiff. Then you become aware, okay, yes, I have a body, I have to take care of it. So वो disconnect रहता है. So we need to take those awareness breaks in between, breathe mindfully, return to our own selves. Then, as I said, it mindful breathing, it connects your body and mind. There's a union. So it also makes you aware of your suffering. And that is also essential, becoming aware of it, not ignore it. Because when we connect with our suffering in any form, when we look at our own suffering, when we are accepting it, it gives birth to compassion, to love for ourselves. And if we don't release that suffering, it will continue and it is not easy to release them. So it has to be understood and transformed, transmuted completely. And whatever suffering we are going through, it is just not what is in our life. Hamari suffering nahi hai khali. It can also have come down from our ancestors. So we are sort of representing a lineage. So if there has been a lot of trauma in my family, with my ancestors, that suffering is bound to come down. So when you become aware that, yes, I have this opportunity to release, you're actually helping your future generations also. So it will not get passed on because you have released it. So it's very essential to release, become aware of suffering and release it. Then it won't be carried on further. So when we just sit with ourselves and watch, okay, I'm suffering because of such and such reason, maybe anything physical, mental, emotional, we begin to develop a compassion for ourselves, a lovingness for our own self. Like, how would you feel if you are with a friend who is suffering a lot? आप उसके लिए, how do you be there for her, for them? So we need to create that space with our own self, that compassionate space. So just give yourself that same compassion. Be there for yourself. Breathe deeply into your stomach and breathe out your suffering, your pain. So when you are breathing deeply, एक तरह से ना एक उसके लिए path create कर रहे हो for that suffering to be released. You're not stuffing it inside you. So then that creates a space. जब आप release कर लेते हो, we create a space for happiness. जब suffering इतनी है तो happiness कहाँ से आएगी? And the moment we begin to have compassion for ourselves, are willing to release that suffering, our suffering lessons वो तो कम होती रहती है, उसके साथ क्या होता है कि we develop a compassion for other people as well. So we can more easily understand what are they going through. Then our communication with them also improves. So when we are connected to ourselves, we are connected in a better way with people around us. So there was this lady who was going through a lot of issues in her home and completely lost, was on the verge of committing suicide. So then she had a friend who was like into all this breathing techniques and all. So she said, okay, just before you commit suicide, just come to me once. And she made her go through a practice of breathing in and breathing out, connecting to own herself. Like usko thode din rakha apne paas, usko samjhaya, dekha. And then she began to realize that yes, many things are what I have created. So when you're like you are suffering, you're just not aware of what you are thinking also. You're adding your own stories, you're creating a lot of stuff. You think that others are responsible, but then when you're connecting to yourself, you begin to realize, okay, kahin kahin mera bhi role hai ye. You start taking responsibility for your life. You're not blaming others. Because of him, my life is not moving. Because of him, I'm not able to do this or that. तो वो ना एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग आ जाती है फ्रॉम डीप इनसाइड कि दिस इज माय लाइफ, आई हैव टू टेक चार्ज ऑफ इट, आई कैन नॉट पुट द ब्लेम ऑन अदर पीपल. एक सिंपल सा थॉट है, आई कैन नॉट चेंज एनीवन. I can only change myself, but I can only work on myself. So when I get that realization, I can start working on myself. And the bonus is, the best part is that when I'm working on myself, the others are also getting affected. So there will be changes in them also. So you have to realize that you are responsible for what is happening to whatever extent, maybe to quite a big extent, which we don't want to accept. How can I be responsible for the chaos going outside me? But वो responsibility लेनी पड़ेगी if you want to bring in changes. And then when you are understanding your own suffering, your own pain, so you begin to realize that the other person is also suffering. We don't know what pressures they are going through, what pressures they have to face in their life. Well, we are living together, but every individual has their own pressure to face. तो हमें फिर वो भी समझ आने लग जाती है. So there is compassion in you then for the other person also. Understanding the self is very crucial for understanding another person. So, and self-love is also crucial for loving others. आप में self-love होएगा तभी आप दूसरों को भी प्यार कर सकते हो. If you can't accept yourself, if you hate yourself, always critical of yourself, about your thoughts, your actions, how can you love another person? Because you're always full of criticism. And you cannot expect them also to love you. Because आपका खुद से ही connect नहीं है. So to rouse that feeling of love for your own self, that compassion, you need to create that connection. And then, loneliness also takes a back seat. So you feel fulfilled from deep within, and you know that you are there for yourself. So there's no question of feeling lonely. So there are like, how can you connect with your breath, with your inner world? How can you deepen that inner connection? How can you do that? So when you're connecting with your breath, it's putting you in charge of your inner world. You're connecting to your inner world. But how can we deepen it? How can we deepen this connection? How can we cultivate that compassion, that understanding within us? So as you can understand, this is all Buddhist practices and teachings. Mindfulness is coming from there only. And in fact, all that I'm talking about, I've taken from Thich Nhat Hanh's lectures. So the first thing that they ask you to do is practice self-reflection. So look within yourself, look at the root cause of whatever suffering you have. Because sometimes it is just out of ignorance. You're not aware of the situation and you're suffering. When you talk to the other person, understand the situation, your suffering disappears. आपने माइंड में किसी ने कुछ कह दिया, आपने पूरा दिन माइंड में स्टोरीज क्रिएट कर ली कि कैसे कह दिया, क्या कह दिया. बट व्हेन यू गो बैक एंड टॉक टू हिम, व्हाई डिड यू से दिस, अ टोटली डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट कम्स फॉरवर्ड. और कई बार उनको पता भी नहीं होता कि मैंने ये बोला है, पर आपने तो पूरा दिन अपना बर्बाद कर दिया. सो वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द अदर कमिंग फ्रॉम. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ जस्ट गोइंग इनसाइड एंड एक खिचड़ी बनाते जाओ, थोड़ा सोचो एंड देन आस्क, कम फॉरवर्ड एंड कम्युनिकेट. And then that helps us look at our own faults also, self-reflection. Or when we understand what are the shortcomings in us, we are able to resolve them. If we are not aware of them, how will we resolve them? तो आपको फिर समझ आ जाती है, ओके, आई हैव दिस हैबिट ऑफ बीइंग इम्पेशेंट, और जेलिसी भी आ सकती है कई बार, एंगर राउज हो सकता है. तो क्यों हो रहा है? व्हाट इज द रूट कॉज? वी कनेक्ट टू दैट. And then that helps us to develop that compassion within us. We can, when we have conflicts with people outside us, so we need to put ourselves in the other person's shoes to understand what are they going through. And that can only happen when we connect to our own selves. Agar I'm in just in that space of suffering all the time, I cannot understand the other person's viewpoint also. So compassion for the self actually opens pathways connecting to the other also. And of course, it needs a lot of patience and tolerance to be on this path. Patience with yourself. Just be accepting about what anything that you feel is wrong in you. Forgive yourself. So reading self-forgiveness is an amazing way. So it covers every aspect. Daily self-forgiveness, any prayer we can do for self-forgiveness, and that will actually connect you more deeply with your own self. But again, it needs patience, be accepting, allow that space for healing to happen. Then, of course, your kindness to yourself and respecting your own self, realizing your self-worth is also important, your self-esteem. Then then only we can accept others, value them as well. So value yourself to learn to value others. Like, look, nobody is wrong. There are no bad characters. They're just misunderstandings. We don't have that communication to understand people around us because we don't understand our own self. So इसलिए दोनों तरफ communication के लिए self understanding is most essential. And then also, we have to let go of attachments. Well, we are very much attached to our, you could say, possessions, our thoughts. How can you deny my thoughts? तो हमें थोड़ा फ्लेक्सिबल होने की जरूरत है. Not be rigid about any beliefs we have come up with. There's always a different perspective. और वो rigidity भी पुरानी beliefs से आ रही है, which were created by whatever circumstances or people around you. Everything has to be like rechecked. According to the times, we need to change. We cannot remain rigid. Like maybe our parents were rigid with us, strict with us. But in today's generation, we cannot be that strict. The way we were brought up, we cannot have the same attitude towards our children. So we need to change our beliefs. Again, that comes with that self-acceptance. Okay, I realize that where I can become a little more lenient. How was my life and now how can I deal with the current life? Awareness only comes with our own self-reflection. And then, of course, bring in that forgiveness for yourself, as I said. And, we have to let go of control. What we are trying to do is want to try to control our life, dominate others. I have to be in charge. So that doesn't work all the time. So we have to, we feel that, yes, abhi, mujhe, and then sometimes we are in that space ki I have to do this. Koi galat ja raha hai, sometimes children are not very cooperative, but we want them to go according to what we want. I have to be in charge. मेरे हिसाब से आप चलोगे तो वो भी नहीं चलता. And we cannot, somebody is going through a lot of problems. So it is their path. I cannot be the manager of the universe. No, I have to set this right. So थोड़ा सा backfoot पे रहने की जरूरत होती है. Send them lovingness, send them that calmness, so that they are able to cope with whatever they are going through in a better way. If I also keep on agonizing, he's not doing this way, not doing that, ये नहीं कर रहा, he's not taking charge of his life in good way, job नहीं कर रहा, कुछ एक तो we are multiplying his tension, his worry by sending those thoughts. So we need to step back a little. And what is it that I want him to do? If my child is like not going the right way, not working out or doing a job, studying, whatever, what do I want him to do? I don't need her to keep battering him, do this, do this, do this. I'll just step back and send him those thoughts. They will have a more powerful effect because then he'll understand from within I have to do it. और जब आप खुद चाहते हो करने के लिए, you're able to do it. But it takes time and patience. So I come to the end of my presentation. Any thoughts anyone would like to ask or discuss anything?
Thank you, Meenuji, for sharing. And it's so apt what you concluded. Like we have to hold back in our, giving comments or any this thing because
Yes.
it lands differently to people. Particularly if even we feel bad if we are going through something and if someone says, yeah.
Mhm.
So we have to hold back our inner communication to ourselves and release and cleanse it.
Absolutely.
So anyone would like to share your inner communication? Shamina ji, Neelam ji, Vasan ji, Himanshu, Meena ji, Rajvin. Yeah, Rajvin. Oops, where is Meenu ji?
My inner communication is that I work too hard. So I'm down with sinusitis, and I did prayers. I listen to you, listen to Nupurji, and listen to everybody, hypnotherapies also. I did my prayers, and suddenly my body broke down. Body broke down in the sense that diarrhea. So I'm like wondering how to get the energy. Telling like hey, hypnotherapy works, everything works, but why there's still there's something pulling my inner peace.
Mhm.
How do you overcome that?
So we just, as I said, be there, deep breathe. Breath is actually a solution for everything. So breathing in deeply, breathing out mindfully, you get that space where you're dropping everything. Okay, so actually there is no stress pain because of the past experiences that our thought processes. We are creating that suffering for ourselves. So try to just be there for yourself. Breathe deeply into that portion, that part, feel where is that pain, and then breathe it out. Try that mindful breathing process, but it has to be done on a regular basis, practicing it on a regular basis.
Thank you. I must say, since I came to consciously positive, and since I came to Maven, I've improved a lot. A lot.
Yes, so consciously positive is about being consciously positive. And that only happens when you connect with your own self.
Thank you.
Awesome.
We can do a short meditation if you want, again, like how to release these, whatever thought processes are there.
Yeah, that would be good.
Or anyone would like to say anything else first?
Meena ji just said, thank you, Meenu ji, for nice.
Thank you. So, okay, so just relax, take a deep breath, relax, close your eyes. Just be aware of your breath. Watch it coming, going slowly. Just be aware. Feel till where is it going inside you, throat, chest. Just connect to your breath, be aware of it. Now, whatever pain or suffering or fears you have, they are there somewhere in your body. So when I ask you to pay attention to where are they in your body, where does your attention go in your body? It couldn't go to any part. It can go to your head, your heart, your throat, your stomach, arms, hands, कहीं पे भी जा सकता है. So where does your attention go? Now, wherever it goes, feel that emotion like a cloud over there. Feel that emotion like a cloud over there. And give it a color. Any color. Give that cloud a color. So your emotion is represented by that cloud, that color cloud in that part of your body. Give it your full attention. It is there. I'm holding this inside me, this pain, this fear, this anger, whatever emotion it is. I'm holding it in that part of my body as a cloud over there. You're paying full attention to it. And as you pay full attention to it, feel it expanding. I want you to feel it strongly. Let it expand. Let it fill up all the other parts, the rest of your body. Multiply by 100 if you have to, but feel it strongly. Feel it in every cell of your body, that pain, that fear, that anger, whatever emotion you're going through. Just feel it. The negative ones. Just feel that emotion strongly, overpoweringly. It's overwhelming you. It should be to that extent. It's as if suffocating you. Feel it to that extent. Now it's your choice. Do you want to hold on to this pain or release it? It's totally your choice. So if you're releasing it, visualize I'm giving you a balloon. Visualize I've handed you a balloon and now you have to blow it up. Breathe into it and blow it up. So start breathing into it. It's a magical balloon, it will not burst. So start breathing into that balloon, releasing that cloud of your emotion into that balloon. Breathe deeply, releasing, pulling from every cell of your body and releasing it into the balloon. Breathe it out. Feel the balloon getting bigger as you breathe out that cloud of emotion that you have accumulated in your body. Just breathe it out. Release it. Release, release. With one final breath, release all that cloud into that balloon. And now feel as if you're tying it up with a thread and you are ready to release it. Release the balloon. Watch it rising up. It's full of gas. It will rise up on its own. Watch it rising up. What color is it? Be aware of the color of the balloon. It's carrying away that cloud of emotion that was inside you. Take your attention to the universe. Ask the universe to accept and dissolve all that negative emotion. You released it all. Send it up to the universe. And have faith that it will be dissolved, accepted and dissolved. Watch that balloon rise higher and higher, getting tinier, tinier, tinier. And then it disappears into the sky. Thank the universe for accepting and dissolving it. Now, from where it has disappeared, feel a shower of white light coming, falling on your head, sweeping right through your body, carrying away any residual negativity left out through the soles of your feet into the earth. Thank the earth for accepting and dissolving. Again, take your attention to the universe. Feel a shower of pink energy coming, falling on your head, filling up each and every cell of your body right down to the soles of your feet. Very soothing energy. This is the loving energy of the universe. And it's making you feel very calm, relaxed, peaceful. Just allow it to fill up every cell of your body. Fill you with a peacefulness, a calmness. Thank the universe for blessing you with this energy. Thank yourself for being able to receive it. Now look back at the original thought of whatever emotion you were feeling. We'll take it as it was as 10 on a scale of 1 to 10 at that moment. Now feel at what point it is. A number will automatically come into your mind. On the scale of 1 to 10, where is it now? It will definitely have reduced. Thank the universe for helping you reduce it. Feel a comfortableness, a happiness as you connect deeply with your inner self. Feeling a happiness, a calmness from deep within. Take a long, deep breath now. Move your body a little. Relax yourself. Rub your hands together and on your face.
Thank you, Minocha. Awesome meditation.
So could you feel a shift in your whatever emotion you were feeling?
Yes, yes. Yes, it definitely reduced.
10 से कहाँ पे पहुंचा?
I think 3 or 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good, great.
Yeah. Daki, would you like to share? This.
Hello, ma'am. I
Hello.
joined late. I tried connecting and somehow there was a glitch. So I had to restart and join late, but I was able to attend the meditation. I was focusing on my eyes. So out of 8, I would say now it's 2. So
Oh,
automatically there was a shift. I could feel that.
uh-huh.
And can you tell a little more about the pink light?
So we consider, we just like it's you're visualizing. So we use white as a cleansing light. So white cleanses your body. And pink is a loving light of the universe. Pink is the color of love, red, pink. They are supposed to be colors of love. So we visualize that there is a pink energy coming from the universe because universe is love. So वहां से loving energy is coming into us. So that
It
is
is,
pink energy.
it is so surprising that you talked about pink energy and a smile came on my face because today in my meditation, somehow I think I went in trance and all of a sudden it was all pink. And you brought this pink, so I was wondering what happened.
Good. You were supposed to connect to it. That's why.
Yeah, probably.
So anytime you
Thank
can
you so
do
much.
this meditation, you can do it in this way. With the balloon, you don't need it. That's done like once a week or 10 kabhi kar liya. But you can use on a daily basis white energy to cleanse yourself out. Just feel it is falling on your head and sweeping your whole body, carrying away any negativity into the earth. And then feel that pink energy from the universe filling you up completely in every cell of your body. So, and then wherever you feel it filling up your heart center more. And it's giving you a feel of that lovingness from deep inside. So all those आजकल बहुत ज्यादा जैसे होता है ना कि लोनलीनेस है ये है वो सब चीजें रिजॉल्व होने लग जाती हैं परेशानी हो रही है पेन हो रहा है
I
so just,
have one more question. I'm experiencing something, but I don't have an answer to it. Before I fall asleep, when I'm halfway into my sleep and see a speck of light and I wake up. And it's happening repetitively every night that when I'm almost going to sleep, then I see some light. Maybe I'll see a microwave that just shot, or just a door that just opened in white light, or I'm seeing some specks of lights. I tried to Google it, but I could not find the answer.
how do you feel when you see that
It's a fraction of a second that happens.
yeah so what feeling comes to you is it of like something good, or is it something fearful? What do you feel when you see it?
Good, good.
So then you're not able to go back to sleep?
Yeah, usually I'm awake after that.
Mhm. So it just, what I would suggest, like everyone has their own individual experiences. So you will not find everything in the Google. Whatever you are experiencing, you accept it.
Mhm.
You wake up, okay, what is it? You have that
Mhm.
curiosity. तो
Yes,
उससे क्वेश्चन मार्क शुरू हो जाते हैं आपके दिमाग में, तो
right,
उससे आपकी नींद भी खत्म हो जाती है.
right.
So just accept it. Okay, how is it appearing? It's beautiful. So be
Mhm.
there. Why not just be there with it? And then bring your mind, your attention to your breath. Watch it. Watch your breath also. You're aware of that light and you're watching your breath also. So calmness comes in, settles in. So वो curiosity, that questioning जो aspect है ना, you subdue that. Then
Okay,
you'll be able to just go back to sleep. Just watch it, observe it. It's come. So enjoy it, appreciate it.
okay.
व्हाट है, हम फटाफट लग जाते हैं रीजन ढूंढने में, ये क्यों हो रहा है, क्यों हो रहा है, क्यों हो रहा है.
Yeah, I
हर
do
चीज
that
का,
a lot.
हाँ, हर चीज का आंसर नहीं होता. So sometimes you
Right.
just have to accept it.
Okay. Okay.
ठीक है. I hope that answers you.
Yeah, I need that.
And helps you
Thank
also.
you. Yeah.
Thank you. Fine. Should we wind up, Shamana ji?
Yeah,
Already 8:50.
and if no one has anything to contribute.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Meenuji, for a good session.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining in.
I will see you in my talks later on.
Sure.
Thank you.
All the best for them.
Yes, thank you.
After a long time I'm doing, so I'm very excited.
Very good.